What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So let's talk about the new patch. Have you downloaded it, and can you see the changes? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, but only your honest opinions, okay? Just be completely truthful with the whole situation. Now, as always, click that big red subscribe button below if you are new to the channel, because it helps a ton, and it's a plus because it just makes you a much better human being. And if you are interested, earlier today I uploaded the 4th episode of the Avengers game show where we were talking about switchable heroes in mid gameplay. Alright, so check that out, it'll be on screen, and there are a bunch of other cool ideas in there as well. So like I said, check that out if you are interested in that. But what I want to talk about in this video, like I said, is this big patch, and it's definitely safe to say it was big. It's around 10 gigabytes, and of course it was fixing over 1,000 things in the game, and it seems to be running a lot smoother than before, at least for me. I'm sure I could speak for majority of people, but I mean, in a nutshell, like I said, it is running more or less a lot smoother for other people anyway. And I'll go through some of the new things added only in these patch notes in a second. Like I said, just highlighting the super key features, but only for new things that are added into this game as opposed to fixed. But one thing that I think is super cool is on the map, we now have some little, I guess, 3D virtual map thing going on that I noticed earlier today, and I just think it looks super neat. It's one of those small little details that always go a long way, and it seems like the interface stuff has changed a lot, and again, I just think it's something really cool that was added into this that I genuinely wasn't expecting. But nonetheless, the big thing that was added is of course hives, and I mean, I can safely say, right, my patience has never been tested more in a video game until I've come across hives. Alright, I absolutely love it. It's a blast, but sometimes, well, it can get you at the last second if you are not on the ball, in a nutshell. Like, you can honestly think you've basically bagged it in a nutshell, you're basically gone through all the floors and so forth, but right at that last second, an enemy can literally just come in and kaboosh kabam, wipe you out, and it's super frustrating. But like I said, it is so much fun. And for you guys who don't know what it is, in a nutshell, it's mega hives, and it's a single player chain of about 8 missions that just put all your characters to the test, right? But only heroes in your roster with the power level of 140 can participate. And like I said, it basically is a situation where you go through different floors, battle different enemies, and if one hero gets wiped out, another replaces, etc, etc. But like I said, it's super easy to get your butt kicked, okay? So you have to be on the ball. But the fun thing is, it just makes you want to up your character's level even more, if that makes sense. So it really is a ton of fun, and nonetheless, it is a weekly thing, but it's just one bit of new content that has been added into this game. And don't forget, there will be a ton of new things like this as well. So leave your thoughts on hives. Are you finding it fun? Are you not finding it fun? Leave your honest thoughts on that in the comments below. So jumping into a few key things that were added. So on the notes we have, and I quote, "Approaching hackable terminals with a hero that lacks the ability now displays a tutorial explaining why it cannot be accessed." And of course, by the time you see that, you can have a solution as to how you can go about getting access to these doors that of course have the heroes or chests, whatever it may possibly be, right? So that's really interesting. I stumbled across that today, and again, it's just super helpful to know why it isn't opening or why it's being declined as a whole. Now, it continues to say that the war table icon now has a different appearance when there is a new mission available. And again, like I said, just adding quickly onto this point as well, the war table in general when it comes down to maps has changed. We now got this sort of 3D map going on as well, which I just really like. I think it looks super cool. Now, what's even better is it does say, based on player feedback, we have implemented a 0 to 10 motion blur slider. When set at 0, motion blur is completely disabled, and it's not something that I personally do have an issue with, but I know there are a ton of people out there that just cannot stand motion blur. I mean, it can affect the game's performance, especially on PC as well. So I think the fact that you can just completely turn this off is a win all around. But again, for me personally, it's not really a major thing that I guess affects my gameplay, but it's great to see that they are actually listening to the community, right, nonetheless, and implemented this. Now, they did go on to talk about Iron Man, so we got 3 things for Iron Man. We got various Iron Man lock-on improvements, and again, that was an issue that I did have at the beginning. I used to main Iron Man in this game, but when it came down to the lock-on situation, it kind of became a little bit frustrating because of course it wasn't as easy to do all the time. Well, in a nutshell, to an extent, should I say, but there's been a ton of improvements to that. And Iron Man's, and I quote, hyper coils, basically it's a skill that now grants the intended 10-second duration increase. And then lastly, we got Iron Man's laser specialization reduces the instinct cost of aimed ranged attacks, okay? But nonetheless, I think that's really cool that when it comes down to a character that I used to main a lot, when I came across these issues, I mean, these in a nutshell, I would probably say in the top 5 issues, so it's great to see that these were resolved. Now, of course, we were talking about a Hulk skin a couple of videos back that accidentally got added into somebody's game, and it's basically the Hulk's fractured outfit. Now, it does appear in the appearance menu, and when awarded through a rare pattern, it will display the item correctly in inventory of players who have already collected this outfit. That's really cool. But talking about that suit that I was talking about, of course, when it comes down to Hulk actually being a seasonal Santa Hulk, whatever you want to call it, like a Christmas add-on, it has now been confirmed that again, it's not an add-on and it can genuinely be something unlocked through the game. So that's really cool. But again, I still do hope that we do see seasonal, I guess, skins added into the game. If they don't, I think it'd be a huge opportunity missed, but I'm sure they will go ahead and add that. And then of course we have for the Adaptoids, which was definitely a lot of people's frustration, and we know they were aware of this. They have changed a ton of things for this. So it says Assault Adaptoid tuning, including the following: less aggressive in multiples, less aggressive when the fire shield is active, triggers a smaller hit reaction when heroes are hit by the laser attack is easier to avoid in combat situations, and then lastly, fireball visuals were updated to make them easier to see in combat. So like I said, these are just a few of the new things that were added into the game, as opposed to the rest of them that are of course fixes, but I'm going to link it in the description below if you actually want to read through every single word. There are a ton of things that were changed in this, and they are aware of more bugs as well, which again they do state in that blog, and I think it's really cool. But this update was huge, and again, like I said, there's been so many various interface updates, so it's now just a matter of coming across these changes for yourself and being like, wow, it looks so much different. But guys, that's gonna wrap up this video here. As always, subscribe for more awesome content if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.